Hello friends, welcome to Living With Me. My name is Dee. Welcome back if you have been on my channel before, and welcome if you're here for the first time. Today we're in my kitchen and I am going to show you how I make sourdough bread. It is not fully plainly sourdough bread because I do still use dry yeast because I am a newbie to this process, and I have attempted to make sourdough bread before with my own starter. My son named our starter Yuri. So Yuri has been with us for the past 5 months, I want to say. So he's doing great. It's just that every time I attempted to make bread with him without the yeast, it kind of went south. It was delicious in flavor, but it was always very flat and packed inside. It didn't have those holes that we need. So this current Yuri now, when I combine it with dry yeast, is perfection, and even days later it is soft like a pillow. So I'm thinking, if it works for me, it works for me. But I did want to share it how I make. I'm sure some of you, if you make sourdough bread without yeast, will think, oh my god, this is all wrong. But this is what I do. Even my son, he will say about this bread, this is the best bread ever, and he's 9, so I believe him. You know, kids kind of don't have a filter. I had friends from Australia recently. They loved it too, and I myself love it. It's worth it. Also worth mentioning, I don't always do the whole 5 hours of stretching and folding and then stays proofing in the fridge for overnight. Sometimes I need it quicker. So today what I'll do, I will let it sit and stretch and fold every 30 minutes 3 times, and then let it sit for a total of 5 hours with the stretching and folding, but I will not put it in the fridge. I want fresh bread today. So without further ado, I know I said a lot. Today I'm showing you a quick kind of cheat version of sourdough bread with a good starter, but also with using dried yeast. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get going. So here I have lukewarm water, 1 bag of dried yeast, and a spoon of sugar. And look how this fluffed up. I didn't show you how I did it because it's as simple as it sounds. And let me show you what type of dried yeast I use. I used this. Fleischmann's active dried yeast, 1 bag. This I leave for a few minutes. By the time I recorded the intro, this already fluffed up. This means this is active. And this is my sourdough starter, Yuri. Meet Yuri. You already saw Yuri. Look how active and beautiful he is. I'm going to pour this now into this yeast and add flour to it. So let me show you. So we're going to put our boy Yuri into this dried yeast. Look how stretchy it is. We're going to leave just enough to feed it again and start another batch of Yuri, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to leave this aside and feed it. And then this, I'm just going to toss into the yeast, okay? So you see the idea here. Now I'm going to take a spoon and mix this in well. Well, what does well mean? Just enough so it kind of gets incorporated. Look at these bubbles. And then I'm going to add flour. Okay, I don't have any measurements for you, and I'm just going to show you what consistency I want. So now when I think that I had enough flour in there to kind of for the dough not to become too sticky, it's still sticky, but not as sticky, I will start kneading with my hands. Before this, I did it with my spoon. I'm so sorry this is all shaky, but again, tripod's dead, and I don't want to procrastinate recording this just because of a technical issue. So anyway, let me do this here. I'm going to knead this for a while, and then add more flour, or not. Let's see. I don't think I'll need more flour. And then I will knead it until it's a bowl of my liking. All right, folks, so when I have a dough that's this thick and this nice, I will keep it covered for 30 minutes. I just put it in a bag, I cover it up, and I set my alarm for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we'll come back and stretch and fold it. All right, so it's nice and covered with a plastic bag. You see the size, the starting size. I'm going to show you in 30 minutes how much it rises after sitting for 30 minutes on room temperature. In the meantime, I figured I could show you how I refeed Yuri. So I don't know if you can see how much is left. Pretty much just the residue. Whatever is in there is enough to start again. So remember how empty it was, and then I can show you maybe in a few days how much it rose. This is just regular flour. I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of flour. I don't measure anything, and pretty much literally the same size, the same amount of water. That's it. I'm going to mix it up. And all the bacteria that we already had in the starter that we used for this current bread that you watched me make will be enough to start the growth of the bacteria for the new starter, or the same starter, just a different batch. And I will add just a tad of water, like literally a tad, like even less than a full. And that'll be enough. All right, so I mixed it up. I needed 2 hands. This is how it looks. It's quite thick. I think it wouldn't fall out. No, it wouldn't fall out no, it's that thick, but it is moving slightly. So this is what I need. All I do now is close it and leave it on a countertop. We're just going to keep this here and forget about it. So when you feed your starter, in my case Yuri, like we just did, you're going to set it and forget it until the next day where you feed it again. I do 1 spoon of flour and 1 spoon of water. Now, please don't quote me. I'm not an expert at this. I know this is not 100% accurate, but it works for me. So you do you. All right, we're back. It's been exactly 30 minutes. I'm going to knead it 1 more time, and then we'll let it sit for another 30 minutes, or rather I'm going to stretch and fold it. So here I'll be stretching it and folding it gently. I'm doing all of this with 1 hand because I'm recording with the other. I just have to turn off the camera to do this with 2 hands, but this is the point. This is how you stretch and fold it gently. And see how these nice, when you stretch it, these nice bubbles appear. These here. This is normal and actually good. Okay, let me do this with 2 hands. And look at this bubble. This is beautiful. This is what we want. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful. And what I always love to do is kind of tuck it in underneath like this. So it has the, what do these professional people call it? It gets the tension. I can't do it properly with 1 hand, but you get what I mean. And then I let it sit for another 30 minutes. Okay, and then we're gonna be back. All right, letting it sit under the bag again for 30 minutes, setting up the alarm, and then we're going to come back and stretch and fold 1 more time. All right, it's been another 30 minutes. Let's see what happened to our bread. It rose more, and it's bouncy and beautiful. So I'm going to stretch and fold it again a few times around and leave it to sit for another 30 minutes. This is now our round 2. I wanted to do it at least 1 more time. Just to show you how fluffy it is over here. Look at this, so nice and fluffy. I will have to do it off camera, unfortunately, for the reasons you already know, but I just want to show you how nice and fluffy. When you touch this, it feels like the softest pillow in the world. Literally the softest pillow in the world. Okay. All right, round 3. See how much smaller it is right now after I kneaded it, stretched and folded, and now it's waiting again for another 30 minutes. All right, part 3. Look how nice and fluffy it is. I'm going to fold and stretch it 1 more time, which will be the 3rd time, right? And then bake it. So as I'm stretching and folding it and like playing with it in my hands, It's very fluffy and airy. I can feel and see the bubbles, and as I'm folding it and tucking it in, it makes sounds like anyway, can't imitate it, but it's literally the air is coming out of the bubbles, and it's so fluffy, and that's what we wanted. So each time you stretch and fold it the next time, you want to be careful and gentle because you want to preserve that fluffiness, basically, if that makes sense. All right, we're going to turn on the oven at 500 Fahrenheit with the Dutch oven in it, okay? And let it heat up for 20 or 30 minutes. Look how bouncy and soft this is. So I'm going to now, look at these bubbles here. I don't know if you can see. So nice. So I am preheating the oven. I'm going to take out the Dutch oven out of the oven and put it here on my burnt thing and place the bread inside on a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to reuse this one, why not? And then bake the bread for 20 minutes in the oven on this parchment paper. And then when the 20 minutes are over, I'm going to take off the Dutch oven lid and bake it for another 15 minutes. Look at these bubbles. Oh my God, this is so nice. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so now I need to be really careful because I always burn myself. I'm going to put the parchment paper in the Dutch oven that's really well preheated. I'm going to take the sourdough bread and one more time, just like gently fold it. So I'm going to do this to my bread one more time. You professionals, if I'm lucky enough and you are watching, I think you are now cringing because this is not the right way, but that's okay. I'm going to tuck it in right this and place it into the Dutch oven gently. And I'm going to take a really sharp knife that I have. I don't have I don't know what this is called, but I just have a really sharp knife, and I'm going to, I'm not even sure what this is called, score it, I believe, once. And once across, like make a little cross. Off it goes, setting the timer, 15, 20 minutes. Here you go, 20 minutes on. Bread is ready. All right, guys, my bread is ready. Look at this baby. It's boiling hot right now. I'm going to let it cool just like this. I'm going to take it off the Dutch oven because I don't want it to burn it from the bottom, but it is beautiful. Once it cools down a little, I'm going to let you hear how soft it is, or rather see how soft it is and hear the crunch. I seriously wish you could smell this bread. I'm truly hoping that you will hear this crunch. This is now not hot anymore, as hot. So this crunch, you hear this? This is everything. Let me show you. Look at this. It's bouncy, it's crispy on the outside, but soft and fluffy on the inside. It's like, look, it's like a pillow. It is still hot, so it's still full, but oh my goodness. Look at this. Beautiful. I'm going to let it cool down a little longer